And now we're looking into quartiles and interquartile range. Interesting. Okay. So what we have to do, first of all, let's get our numbers in order from small to large. If it was given to us in order from small to large, it would be nice, but it's not a big deal. We can put them in order. So looking at number 9, let's see the smallest number. Like, so I'm gonna put them from small to large. So the smallest number is in the 20. So I'm gonna go 22.3. Then I have 25.2, 25.9. Okay, those are all the 20s. Now the 30s, I have 30.4, 31.5, 31.7, 33.6. And then we have what? 36. And then lastly, 41.9. Okay, to make sure that we use all the numbers I count, I got 9 numbers on my list, and I look at the list given. I do have 9 numbers. Okay, so we're looking at minutes to run a 5 kilometers. Okay, how many minutes does it take? Now we're going to be looking at what we call lower quartile, upper quartile, and interquartile range. Okay, so we talked about median last time. So yesterday we were talking about median, and we said the median is the number in the middle. So let me define the median to begin with. I'm not going to quite cancel my numbers this time because I'm going to use my numbers. So instead of canceling them, let me put a line at the bottom. So that's basically, for me, it means I already cancel them out. Remember, for median, right, the one in the middle, I have to cancel the smallest number and the largest. Let me cancel this again. The smallest and the largest, the smallest and the largest, the smallest and the largest. So this is my median. Okay. Now, interesting is I have a median. So the median separates a lower half and an upper half. Okay. Kind of like, think about sports. The median, it's halftime, right? Doesn't it separate into the first half and the second half? Isn't that what halftime does in sports? Same thing here. So I have a median and it separates it into a lower half. Lower half are basically these numbers on the left. All right, these are my low numbers, and it separates it into the upper half. Now, just looking at the list of the lower half, I'm not including the median. Just looking at the list of the lower half, find the median of that. Okay, so you will come and say, well, let me do this with black. Let's see. I cancel the smallest numbered and the biggest numbered, and oops, I have 2 numbers in the center. Okay, so remember what we said yesterday. I could ask you, like, when we have 2 numbers in the center, I'm asking which number is in between 25.2 and 25.9. Right? I can ask you what number is in between them. If we don't quite know, what I'm gonna do, let me add this number. So 25.2 plus 25.9 divided by 2. 25.2 plus 25.9, use a calculator if necessary. This is 51.1. And divide this by 2. Now this gives me 25.55. Okay. Now let me find the median of the upper half. So I'm looking at the big numbers, find the median. I know it's going to be in between these 2 numbers, right? I'm just going to go 33.6 plus 36 divided by 2. Now that's going to give me 34.8. Now I'm going to ask you guys for a few questions in there. I could change my question that I'm asking. I could ask you for, let's use red for this time. I could ask you for quartile 1. Sometimes we call it quartile 1. Sometimes we call it lower quartile. Now, quartile 1 in this case is going to be 25.55. Now, quartile 1 or the lower quartile is basically the median of the lower half. So in this case, 25.55. I could ask you for the upper quartile. Sometimes we call it upper quartile, sometimes we call it quarter 3. But the upper quartile is the median of the upper half. In this case, 34.8. Now there's one more that I'm going to ask you. Interquartile range. Let me underline the word here. Interquartile range. Sometimes we're going to abbreviate that as IQR. But that means interquartile range. Okay, what is that? What's that? What I will do for the interquartile range, I'm gonna go the upper quartile minus the lower quartile. Okay, so what did you say, Mr. Denso? I'm gonna go 34.8, so quarter 3 minus 25.55, which is quarter 1. So again, I'm going 34.8 minus 25.55. In my case, I happen to get 9.25. So on your homework, I could ask you for the lower quartile, I could ask you for the upper quartile, or better yet, I can ask you for the interquartile range. I'm gonna, more than anything, I will prefer the interquartile range because in order for you to answer that, you need to find out the lower quartile, the upper quartile, and then subtract them. Okay, so make sure you guys read the instructions. Let's take a look at question number 10. First, let me put my numbers in order from small to large. So 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4, and 6. Okay, so let me find the median. Let me find the number in the middle. So I cancel the smallest with the largest, the smallest with the largest, smallest with the largest, the smallest with the largest. So this is my median. Okay, the median is 2. Now that separates my data set into lower half and upper half. Now looking at the lower half, the median will be like right here, right? It's in between 1 and 2. So I'm gonna call this quartile 1 or lower quartile, however you guys wanna call it. It's a number between 1 and 2. I could just go 1 plus 2 divided by 2, and it gives me 1.5. Sure, it's fine to use decimals, not a big deal. Now looking at the upper half, I'm gonna say the median is right here, right in between 3 and 4. So quartile 3 or upper quartile is the number between 3 and 4. Decimals are okay. If we cannot tell, I'm just gonna add 3 plus 4 divided by 2, and I get 3.5. Good. Now my interquartile range. Again, sometimes we're going to abbreviate that as IQR, interquartile range. In this case, I have to go upper quartile minus lower quartile. 3.5 minus 1.5. My answer is 2. And again, I can ask in your homework, what's the upper quartile? What's the lower quartile? Or better yet, what's the interquartile range? Pretty cool. Let's take a look at question number 11. let me put my numbers. Let me list my numbers from small to large. Okay, so the smallest number is in the 50s. So I'm gonna go 54 and 55.5. Let me underline them so I know I already used them. Okay, now in the 60s, right? Let me put them in order. So I'm gonna go 61.5, 68, and then 68.25. Then I'm gonna go in the 70s. So I'm gonna have 70.8, 72, 73, and the highest number is 76.3. Okay, this is the hard part, writing them in order. Now let me find the median. I need to find the median. So number in the center. So what I'm going to do, let me see if I cancel the smallest number with the largest number. I cancel those out, and then I cancel them again and again and again. Cool. So that's my median, 68.25. Now the median separates into lower half and upper half. Now in the lower half, the center will be right here, which is the number in between 55.5 and 61.5. So I'm going to say, again, I can call it quartile 1 or lower quartile, however you guys want to call it. Now I could ask you what number is in between 55.5 and 61.5, like right in between. We don't know. We're gonna add this number. So 55.5 plus 61.5 divided by 2, and it gives me 58.5. All right, decimals are fine. So that's my lower quartile. My upper quartile, so on the upper half, there's 4 numbers, right? The middle will be about here. So quartile 3 or upper quartile, the number between 72 and 73. All right, I could add this number, 72 plus 73 divided by 2. I'm going to get 72.5. Now for my interquartile range, we're going to abbreviate that as IQR, interquartile range. I have to go 72.5 minus 58.5. The upper quartile minus the lower quartile. This case, it happens to be 14th. Not bad. Let's take a look at number 12. Let me put my numbers in order. Remember that the numbers here at the bottom are just names. I'm looking at the first bar. It's actually 17. Because notice how it's between 16 and 18. I know I'm comparing the age at first job from 11 different people. So what I'm going to do here, let's see, let me put them in order from small to large. So the smallest bar happens to be in between 12 and 14. So I'm just going to call that 13. So my smallest number is 13, right? This one. And then I have 14. And then do I have any 15s? No. Do I have any 16s? Yep, 2 of them. So 16, 16. Do I have any 17s? Yeah, 3 of them. You guys see those 3? I see 3. So 17, 17, 17. Now, do I have any 18s? Yeah, I see 2 of them. 19 or 20 are not, I don't see any. And then I see 21 twice. Okay. Find the number in the middle. I gotta find my median. Now this one, I'm gonna say, I think we've done median plenty of times. I'm gonna say that's my median. Cool. Happens to be a number, so notice I circle it. Now, on my lower half, find the median of the lower half. So I'm just looking at these numbers right here. Okay, happens to be a number, so I'm gonna circle it. I can say my quartile 1 or lower quartile is 16. Right? It happens to be a number this time. On my upper half, find the median. I'm gonna say my upper half is 18. Now my interquartile range, it's 18 minus 16 because I go upper half minus the lower half. So my interquartile range happens to be 2.